Okay, so this is a follow-up to the Pro Trend Power video that I posted. If you haven't watched that one, please watch that before watching this. So in the last video, I discussed the reason why this 30-minute sponsor candle would fail. As you can see, the result is that it did fail, and it failed in line with exactly what I was going to explain. It was a valid sponsored candle in the fact that it was, but invalid in the fact that it was a counter trend sponsored candle based on the counter to the overall price move or pro trend move. It's already on the discount side of the macro pro trend move. It is also it unwillingly took out, it did not take out any liquidity, macro liquidity to the low side, which would have invalidated the 30-minute trade price gap trade that I was in anyway, and it would have invalidated all this accumulation because we would have taken out this price gap, which is what this trade was based on. And I think that's pretty much it. But ultimately, to explain once again, I'd explain that this was going to have some sort of response, which exactly what it did. You can see here that price mitigated the open and had a monstrous drop in price. I think this is over, I want to say like 60-ish pips. Close. 50, about a 50 pip drop from the open, and that's exactly what I expected. And so the reason why I'm bringing this back up is because some people, especially like me in the past, would have seen this and be like, oh my gosh, this is about to, absolutely drop. But having in the back of your mind, understanding the pro trend power, you would have known like, hey, no, we're in the pro trend, yield to that and have comfort in seeing that the pro trend will actually persist. And so justification here and reasoning, understanding the facts, assumptions, and the next steps is, hey, I'm in this position here on the pro trend. I see that we're coming up to a sponsor candle. I'm concerned about it. Well, let me break it down why this sponsor candle most likely will fail. And so that gives me comfort in keeping this position open. And as you can see, despite any sort of response or reaction, price gave a very violent, volatile move to the low side in response to mitigation of this 30-minute sponsor candle, but it never came close to mitigating my 30-minute price gap entry. And so ultimately, after mitigating the open, it mitigated 50% and gave another valid reaction. And to show you on the 15-minute time frame, kind of what that looked like, we have 50%, and then, it fluctuated inside of this candle and so on and so forth. But ultimately, we ended up breaking past and actually breaking this internal high of this price leg that was generated from the early push mitigation from this price gap. And so now what we're seeing is the full expansion or continued expansion of the move. And presently we pulled back to mitigate 50% of this price gap, expecting price to continue towards the ultimate target of, or not ultimate target, but the intermediate target of this high here inside of the price leg on the premium side, and then the ultimate target of this high if this is going to continue the continuation of the pro trend move, which actually is a bullish run. Peace.